Los Angeles. It's the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. Now, here's Barracuda voice Nick Nollenberger.
It's the final day of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff as the Sharks look to finish with a perfect 3-0 record, and they'll take on the Colorado Avalanche. Nick Nollenberger alongside Drew Remenda. Let's send it down to ice level for our Star-Spangled Banner. First game of the final day, Sharks and the Colorado Avalanche. Drew, Sharks won convincingly 7-2.
Yes.
They're going to have a different looking lineup. No Celebrini, no Smith. Looks like they'll roll with the 10 forwards and 8 defense. That's at least what we were given in terms of a lineup card. So a different looking group, but hopefully a similar result.
Yeah, absolutely. What you've been impressed with so far with the San Jose Sharks, certainly the energy level, the execution has been outstanding. Anytime that we, especially yesterday, have watched the Sharks, it's been hard to pick out one or two guys that have carried the team. It's been a complete team effort. I think they're going to need that more today with Will Smith and Macklin out of the lineup. And the 8 defensemen is a very unique look, but the key in this tournament, this showcase, is to showcase and find out what you've got.
Well, they will have Quentin Musty in the lineup. He'll play the left wing on the top line. Had 4 points yesterday, including 3 goals. The first unit will be centered by Philip Beestead. Holtman on the right wing, Musty on the left wing. We're underway as Sam Dickinson and Jeremy Buchler are the blue liners. And getting the start in the nets to our left is Dawson Cowan, who's a tryout player for this rookie faceoff out of the WHL. Sharks in their all-teal uniforms. Colorado, the visiting team, in their road whites. Musty's going to draw a penalty right off the hop, 25 seconds in. And the Sharks, who have scored 5 power play goals in 2 games, will go on to an early advantage.
Musty right off the bat got involved physically, and then he cuts across, pushes the pace, grabs the puck, and then draws that penalty. Just an errant stick for the Avalanche player, and the Sharks, that power play has looked really good. Quentin Musty was all over it yesterday in that game.
So Beestead will take the center ice face-off draw. Beestead, first-round draft pick 3 years ago by the Sharks. That was Mike Greer's first draft, although he had only been on the job for a couple of weeks before that selection was made. But they're really excited about Beestead's potential as a big, rangy center iceman. Performed quite well in a short stint at the end of the year in the American Hockey League last year. Sharks will carry it up from left to right. Kenyoni, who's been a standout player in the first couple of games, will drop it back. Holtman will guide it towards the net. And Adam Shield, former Dallas Star prospect, in the nets to our right for Colorado, plays it up the wall. Puck will drift all the way back into the Shark end. The Colorado Avalanche skater spilled to the deck and slowly back to his feet. That's Andre Pavel.
I like him. He's a big guy, skates really well, and is physical. Watched him the other day. It was against Utah, I do believe, and he was outstanding. This is a very aggressive penalty kill for a group of guys that don't play together.
Holtman for the Sharks for Kenyoni. Back for Holtman, 14 and teal. Down low for Musty. Takes it to the net on the backhand, and Shield able to make the save and put the glove on it for the whistle.
That's what I really like about Quentin Musty. He goes to the net. He's not afraid to take it to the inside. The majority of goals in the National Hockey League are scored from that slot area or home plate area. And Quinton takes the puck to the net when he sees the opportunity.
53 seconds remaining on the power play. Minor penalty against Colorado's Callum Ritchie. Sharks win the draw. Near side for Mitchell Russell playing the right point. The forward playing on the point on this power play. There's a quick give and go. Wetch got good wood on it. Shield turns it aside. Sharks recover the puck. Pilling had it stripped away from him. It's rimmed around the wall. Good hold by Dickinson on the left point. Kind of fumbled it. It's swiped away, and that'll allow for Colorado to shovel it up the surface and all the way back into the Shark zone.
Good shift for Pilling. Wins the draw and then is able to help set up that first chance.
Sam Dickinson, who really stood out in the win yesterday, will drop it at his own blue line. Russell hands off for Wetch. Back for Dickinson. Selected 11th overall by the Sharks in the most recent NHL draft. Now Wetch will shovel it corner for Nolan Burke. Burke will horseshoe the puck around the wall outside of the reach of Russell. And Shea will carry the mill back up the left wing for Colorado. There's a shot coming down the left flank, turned aside and out of play. We're back to full strength. 2 minutes, 28 seconds into the first. Still 0-0.
It's always interesting during unusual start times how teams play, how they start, how they look. So far with both these teams, and again, it's kind of been the theme we've been watching in this entire rookie showcase, is skating's no problem for these guys, Nick. They get going.
There's a shot from well out by Olausen. Save is made by Cowan, the netminder. Recovered, though, by Colorado. Tracked down in the left corner. Callum Ritchie, who took the penalty. And now it's rimmed back up the far side as the Sharks look to clear, but it's held in on that right side point by Derek Daschke. Daschke was not on the original lineup, or roster rather, that we received from Colorado. He's a 26-year-old defenseman who spent last year in the East Coast Hockey League with Kalamazoo. 16:58 remaining in the opening period. 0-0 score. Colorado up and over the blue line. Miskey leaned on. Cooley in there. They had row boys as well for the Sharks as the puck is sealed up against the end wall. Still battling away on the end boards. Sharks will take a flight back up to San Jose this evening around 5 o'clock. We'll fly out of LAX. Training camp starts in a couple of days. So all these teams will head back to their respective cities and gear up for training camp that begins this upcoming week. Hockey is no question back, as Pooley, who did not play yesterday, rims it around the wall, and it's tapped back through center by Quentin Musty.
Really good pressure by the Colorado Avalanche. Sharks having a little trouble with execution, is fumbling the puck, and that gives the opposition time to get in, get after it.
And board battle. Drew did quite a few games with myself last year in the Colorado Eagles, the American League affiliate of the Avalanche. Yeah. Always heavy, really stout defensively, and you can just look at the way they play, even in terms of the prospects, and they're trying to follow that same type of model. What's interesting, though, when the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup a handful of years ago, they were one of the smaller teams in the NHL.
That was a skill, with the skill level that they had, and they still do. That was one of the ones few where the skill beat the will. That was a fast, fun team to watch, and they still are.
And it looks like they may be getting their captain back this year as well, as Gabe Landeskog has been skating and is hoping to return back. I think it's been 2 years since they won the Cup. He has not played 2 full seasons.
It was really a couple years ago in San Jose where we watched him skate after practice, and everybody went, "Oh my gosh."
Holtman loads up a fluttering wrister high and wide. Held in now by Sam Dickinson. 0-0 score. We're just past 5 minutes through. Dickinson holding onto it behind the net, works his way up the far wall, protecting the puck, and shovels it rink wide for Bushler. Bushler will place it right corner. Burke runs it down for the Sharks. Takes a bump from the defenseman Sam Behrens. corner board battle, supplying some additional support with Pilling. He'll fish the puck free behind the net. Pilling holding onto it, backhands it up to the point. Shot from well out by Dickinson. Karams in the corner. Never got to the goaltender, Adam Scheel, and it's poked back to the middle third.
Good retaliation shift for the San Jose Sharks. That's heavy into the boards right there.
Any sort of thought about these teams kind of sleepwalking their way into this game, that's been answered quite quickly. The pace has been pretty evident. It's been high tempo, physical. Is Pilling working away from the pressure in his own zone. And it's going to be covered up by Cowan. You mentioned routine, early start, kind of a different internal clock, if you will.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed just going into the locker room, these guys try to follow that same routine, whether it's an 11 a.m. start or a 7 o'clock start. They're trying to do a lot of the things they normally do for a regular game at a traditional time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that we know about hockey players especially, the routine is their alarm clock, really. The routine sets them up for what they hope is one of their best games. They have to go through it so they get their mind and their body right.
Puck all the way back in to the Colorado zone.
Just like
Here's
you and all the work you do, Nick.
And a good save by Scheel after a giveaway. That was Julius Sumpf who had the good look. He controls again in the high slot for Larocque, loads up and put it wide. Now Burke on the left point. Van Roboys for Larocque, top of the circle, holding, waiting, shooting, and that's blocked. Came to Van Roboys, got the backhander off. Puck still loose in the low slot, but allows and pulls it free and directs it off the far boards to get it back to center. And the play blown dead with 13 to go. Looks like a penalty coming.
It's going to be, I do believe, to the Sharks. It's going to be to Wetch for slashing.
So Colorado will go on to its first power play of the game. 7 minutes in as Carson Wetch takes a seat. 2 minutes for slashing. So the face-off draw will be to the right side of Dawson Cowan. Last year with the Spokane Chiefs in the WHL, he went 18-20-3. with a 3.59 goals against, 8.99 save percentage. He's played in both Winnipeg and in Spokane in his 2 years in the Western Hockey League. Up high to the point, controlled by the Avalanche as they set up on their first power play of the game. Still a 0-0 scores. We're under 13 to go now in the opening period. Avalanche looking to set up on the man advantage. Up top, middle of the ice, shot from well out. That's blocked. Pulling the trigger was Connor Mayer. And now a half-wall battle. It's held in by Mayer, left point. Mayer up top, give and go. Back to Mayer, left side. Trying to find a man in the slot, high slot that it is, and it's whiffed on by Max Curran, but back to the point. Colorado holds on to possession. Mayer's wrister blocked, loose puck. Stretching out was Cowan, he keeps it out. Sharks trying to jam it free. Corner board battle. It bounces to Pooley behind the net, and he places it down the length of the ice.
Colorado doing a nice job trying to put as many pucks on the net as possible. That fan on the shot, that high slot by Curran was probably their best opportunity. But, oh, here we go.
Here's a chance for Colorado, but the play blown dead for an offside.
Oh.
Sharks didn't like the fact that puck was shot towards the net. It was a late whistle, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a late whistle.
It was pretty bang.
The kid didn't have much of a chance. He's thinking score, and the whistle goes just as he's in the motion of shooting. Pretty hard for him to stop. Don't shoot the puck at the most padded guy on the ice. At the whistle. It's always funny how hockey teams want to protect that guy who's got more pads than anybody on the planet.
So we're going to have a neutral zone face-off draw after the offside. Ritchie will step in to take it for Colorado against Van Roboys of the Sharks. And Van Roboys wins it back, and it's fired down deep into Colorado ice. So Sean Barron's with it, number 2 in white, left-handed shot defenseman, taken in the second round by the Avalanche, won a national championship last year at Denver. Rims it around the wall, airs it back, post shot, and a one-timer, they score. Matt Steinberg parked atop the left dot, and he rips one past Cowan, and Colorado capitalizes on the power play to take a 1-0 lead.
Jumping into the play on the point was the key on this. Pavel that gets in, and that sets up the opportunity. Comes around to the point, big jump in, and everybody from the Sharks was looking at one side, and that lane was open across, and the one-timer, no chance on that play for Cowan.
So Steinberg, the goal scorer, played 54 games in the AHL last year with the Eagles.
It was Richie that jumped in on that assist. Good play.
Third-round pick back in 2019. We're in the C for the Avalanche during this rookie face-off. So the Sharks trailing for the first time in this game, but the first time in this rookie face-off as well. As there's another chance for Colorado, and did Cowan hold it out? He did. I heard post.
So did I.
But he's able to melt it down and get the whistle with 11:02 remaining in this first period.
We're seeing some good speed and good attack by the Colorado Avalanche. Right now, Cowan is a little bit, Dawson Cowan is a little bit more busy than the previous goaltenders have been in the first couple of games.
For Cowan, it's his first goal, first point of the NHL rookie face-off. This is his second game, and it comes on the manpower advantage. Here's another chance for Colorado, and they score. It's snuck in on the backhand by Ben Brunel, and Colorado's got a 2-0 lead.
Colorado pouncing on the puck on the face-off. Big face-off, it's won by the Colorado Avalanche, and then it's just kind of a scramble in front. Not even kind of a scramble, it was a scramble in front, but stay out of it, find the puck, and get the puck to the net right away. And the Avalanche up 2-0 early. But that's just hunting the puck, right? It's just getting after it. Brunel stayed out a little bit, you know, so, you know, he didn't jump into all that fray. He just stayed out a little bit, puck came to him, and he off the stick right away.
So far, Colorado, they kill off the opening power play, and then they cash in on their first advantage, but they've had a nice jump to their game early, and they've got a 2-0 lead. So Steinberg and Brunel are the goal scorers. As Colorado controls, and it's ripped up the boards, Cowan will stop it behind his net and flush it up the far side. Beasted will pivot the pill back to center, and Colorado controlling in their own defensive zone. It's whipped to the near wing. Burke trying to get to it, but it's skated up that left flank by Shea. Tries to go rink wide.
Oh, that's a trip.
And Roboy's upended and went awkwardly into the bottom of the boards right in front of the Shark bench.
That was, I mean, come on, you've got to be able to see that. That's a trip, and a guy that close to the boards, that's dangerous.
Sharks force a turnover. Van Roboy's backhands one of the net, didn't get through, and it's cleared all the way back into the Sharks zone. This should be an icing against Colorado. Nope, they're going to wave it off. 9:45 remaining in the first period. And it's back into Colorado ice. Sharp turn there by Mayer. Being pestered. Sharks force a turnover. Musty, nifty move. Hands off. Point blank chance for Wet to the right pad. Save by Shield.
Great save, but what a nice little play. Quentin Musty picks it up for the dish.
Now some for the Sharks. He centers, bounces around. Shield makes the save on Pooley. Jam it away. Scores.
And go Pooley. And again, taking the puck to the net.
Pooley got denied initially. He gave it another whack. He beat Shield from in tight. Pooley last year in the AHL had 3 goals. He's got his first goal of this rookie face-off, and the Sharks have cut the lead back down to 1.
That's a big goal for the Sharks in this one, because the Avalanche were getting going, having some speed, having some chances, and a good shift. Starts off with Musty set up, but they stay on it. They recover the puck. And they get people to the net again for a second and even third chance for the goal.
So a good bounce back by the Sharks after Colorado scored a couple of quick ones. Allows it now near wing. Will shovel it in deep on the backhand. Cowan will stop it for Cagnoni. And Luca will flick it near wing for Haltman. Cross-ice dump left corner. Musty in on the forecheck, leaning on Mitch Young, the defenseman, back to retrieve it for Colorado. And more pressure from Haltman forces the puck back in on Colorado's net. And it's covered up by the netminder Shield with 8:44 left in the first. We're going to get a dry scrape here. 2-1 lead for Colorado. Valtteri Pulley, though, on the board for the Sharks. Has cut the lead back down to 1. Avalanche 2, Sharks 1. We're back in a moment. Final day of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff, live from El Segundo. This is Sharks Hockey on the Sharks Audio Network and at sjsharks.com.
Termites Road.
Tournament is their presence in front of the opposition net. They are not afraid to get to the middle of the ice.
So the draw will be to the left side of Shield. They're picking up the final remnants of snow before we drop the puck and resume this game. This is the final day of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. Sharks 2-0 entering this morning. Howell will whip one up the left side. It's tapped down and deep by the Avs. You get in on the forecheck. And it's shimmied around the wall. Corner board battle. Comes free. Shot on target. That's turned aside by Cowan. Angle bid by Brunel, who has the second Avalanche goal. Ooh, big open ice hit. Haltman had nowhere to go. He was hammered by Hildebrandt. And now coming down from the point on that right side is Josh Fluker to keep it alive. Corner board battle now. Trying to dig it free. And now it's reversed. Burke in there for the Sharks. Rather, that's Roberts, excuse me. And now it's centered in front by Colorado. Delayed penalty coming against San Jose as there goes Adam Shield, the netminder for the Avs. Left side, one-timer block. Puck, it didn't quite get through, and it's finally touched down by San Jose. So the Avs are a 1-for-1 on the power player, going back onto the advantage.
Slash again coming up. This one on Haltinen, who took the hit. I think there's some retaliation on that one. Haltinen had nowhere to go on that. Was it a good hit? Very clean.
So the draw to the left side of Cowan. Penalty against Casper Haltman. As Colorado wins the face-off draw, played left side for Alausen, loads up Arister. That's turned aside, loose puck coughed right back into the middle of the ice, but the Sharks collect in clear, and Barron's back to retrieve it. Barron's played 2 years with Team USA, U20 World Junior Championships in 2022 and 2023. Sharks back in their own end, deep in their own end, and it's fired down the length of the ice by Braden Hache. So return back quickly into Sharks territory, but an icing against Colorado while on the power play with 1:23 left on it. 6:56 left in the first, 2-1 lead for the Avalanche.
Now getting that puck down the ice, it's by Haché. He was going to get hammered hard into the boards, and he did. But you like a guy who takes a hit to make the right play.
So face off to the left side of Shield. And Roboys taking the draw against Callum Ritchie. First round draft pick of the Avalanche in 2023, 27th overall, Callum Ritchie. Out of the Ontario Hockey League and the Oshawa Generals. Avalanche still on the power play here. Nifty move. It's up high to the point and slung down into the corner now. Cooley in there for the Sharks, try to pull it free. And the netminder Cowan ends up getting his glove on top of it, but took some physical bumps there for a moment, and that draws the attention.
Colorado do a good job on winning those one-on-one pucks along the boards in the offensive zone. That'll be an area I'm sure John McCarthy will talk to his guys about. There's those one-on-one situations, those competitions for loose pucks are a key to being a winning hockey team.
So both teams will change up their personnel. 49 seconds remaining on the slashing penalty to Casper Haltman. And the face-off draw will come back into the neutral zone right in front of the Shark bench. As Nolan Burke will take the draw for the Sharks, but it's won by Colorado's Max Curran, and the Avalanche will get the puck down and deep. Cowan stopped it, at least slowed it down, and the Sharks punch it out of their own end all the way back into Colorado ice. Behrens works his way up ice from right to left, try to seam a pass down into the feet, though, of Luke Granger, and that allows for the Sharks to recover it and get it back into the Colorado Avalanche end.
Good pursuit by Granger on that to disrupt that breakout.
Curran now for Colorado, rink-wide feed. It stood up right at the Shark blue line, and it's cleared back into the Colorado end.
Good stick by Dickinson, being trusting and of his forwards coming back, able to stand up at the blue line.
Curran, right wing side. Avalanche try to regain the offensive zone. Shea will skate into it on that left flank. 81 in white, directs it up high to the point for Curran. He'll go D to D. Rim down into the trapezoid. End board battle. The puck comes free, and the Sharks will look to break out of their zone, but it was just outside of the reach of Musty and deposited back below the Shark goal line. So Cagnoni with some time and space as the Avalanche were making a change, scans the surface behind his own net. Cagnoni, 19 years of age. He'll turn 20 before the turn of the new year. That means he's eligible to play in the American Hockey League this upcoming year. His potential, he could be returned back to his junior team as well. Portland, here's a chance for Colorado, busting in on net, and a great save by Cowan as he reached out and was able to keep it out on a bid busting in on net from Andre Pavol. And it keeps the game at a 2-1 Colorado lead.
I like him as a player, Pavol. Big guy, centerman. Took a slash on that play, though. He took it on his bottom hand, and he's hurt. He's coming off the ice.
Pavol played in 2 games up top with the Avalanche this season to go 61 in the American Hockey League.
They're looking at him as a potential fourth liner for the Avalanche that can bring some heat.
Now Wetch pulls up as he gets his way into the offensive zone. Shipped around the wall by the Avalanche. Held in on the left point by Haché. And Bstead will flush it around the boards. Mitchell Russell eludes the looming pressure from Young, but he lost control. And Colorado gets it back to center ice. Now Steinberg, who scored the opening goal on the power play, works it up the right side wall for Daschke. And the Sharks take it back inside their own zone. Touchdown and deep by Russell. So Josh Fluker behind his net for Colorado. Under 4 to go in the first. 2-1 lead for the Avalanche. They led 2-0 before the Sharks got on the board on a goal by Valtteri Puoli. Fluker chips it along. Stuffed back to center by San Jose before it's returned in deep by Howell of Colorado. And Puoli for the Sharks plays it around the wall. Body check along the near side, forces a turnover. And a wrister from the high slot by Krishchapov is turned aside and now cleared back into the Colorado end. 3:15 left in this first. Ranger trying to win the puck back, but Colorado works their way out of the zone. Howell rink wide. Mastrodonato, former Texas star in the American Hockey League, gets it down low. Now Bushler wedged up against the end boards. Under 3 to go in this opening period. Colorado 2 and the Sharks 1. Final day of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff here in El Segundo. Barons along the near side gets some support via Connor Mayer. And now Max Curran trying to get away from Pilling. Hands off for Mastrodonato, but the Sharks force the puck back up the ice and into the Colorado zone as Mayer works his way behind his net for the Avs with 2:25 left in the first, and Colorado leading 2-1.
Sam Dickinson with another good stick defensively, knocking the puck off the attacking Avalanche.
Here come the Avs, working in on net, kind of a one-handed shot by Hildebrand, covered up by Cowan, and a scrum behind the Shark net.
Snow job not appreciated by the San Jose Sharks. Everybody in.
Hildebrand was the one who took the puck to the net, lost his helmet in the fray. Played last year at Western Michigan, along with Luke Granger, who was playing for the Sharks.
Only one penalty there. Haltonen getting a roughing penalty.
So he takes a seat for the second time in this opening period. And Colorado is onto its third power play of the first. They are 1 for 2 on the advantage.
It's a bit different so far in this game as the Sharks have had the power play advantage in the first 2 games of the rookie showcase. And today, they continue to be shorthanded. Second penalty in a row for Haltonen.
So 2:08 left here in the first period. Colorado looking to push its lead back to 2. Olausen 24 in white. Little give and go, at least an attempted give and go, and the Sharks steal and swipe it back down into the Colorado end. That was Philip Beested who took the puck away and got it out. Now Mastrodonato had it, got it to center. Now Olausen for Colorado for Barons, and Barons works his way swiftly over the blue line. Whips it right wing side for Mastrodonato, 56 in white, works his way up the half wall, touches it to the point for Olausen. Olausen plays it back for Callum Ritchie. Touch to the point, Olausen works into the high slot, shoots, good block. That was Wetch who got in the shooting lane. He's laboring. Back to the top right circle. Rising wrist shot by Ritchie, misses the mark. And it's all the way back through neutral ice and into the Colorado zone. 1 minute to go in this opening period. Barons works his way up the surface. Right wing side for Curran. Pushed to the wide side by Dickinson. Sharks steal. This could be something developing. Granger works his way over the line. Hands off. Spots Burke into the net. He takes it, but he shoveled it wide, and then Granger took a hard hit in the corner boards. That was a shorthanded chance for the Sharks. Colorado now threatening Shea. Hands off. Oh, what a stop by Cowan on the left post.
That stopped, and another one at the rebound. Really good stop by Cowan as the Sharks pressure And of course, if you're a man down, the transition kicks into gear for the Colorado Avalanche. Good attack and a really nice setup, but a beautiful save, not the first time, as I said, the first time and the second time by Cowan. Big save, that's what you need when you're down a goal late in the period, your goaltender coming up big.
Cowan, 18 years of age. He'll turn 19 later this month on the 28th, a native of Warren, Manitoba. He's 6'1", and he had to use that 6'1" frame and every bit of it to stretch out and make the save. An outstanding stop on the far side to keep it at a 2-1 Avalanche lead.
It really was a good save. I may look back at that save and go, well, that's why the Sharks are able to win this game.
Now Curran seams it to the middle of the ice. Cooper over the line for Colorado, works in quickly, and another chance for the Avalanche at the tail end. And the horn will sound, and the Sharks able to elude falling behind by a couple. Musty
over there in the left side.
Mixing it up with Matt Curran, who was throwing some punches with his glove still on his right hand.
There's a little, at the end after the buzzer, a push at Cowan with just a sliding the puck towards him.
It was actually number 80, Mitch Young, not 90, Max Curran. And they may, we'll see, but the referee standing there looked like he made a call. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a penalty against.
I think it's both guys.
So coincidental penalties. We'll sort it all out as we continue in our intermission. But Sharks a little bit, maybe not the depth that we've seen. It's a different looking lineup, a little bit more on their heels, but they managed to get one back after falling behind by a couple. But just your first period assessment.
Again, the energy level is through the roof. It's amazing to watch these young guys, both teams, how hard they compete. And compete being the key word that we're talking about this entire rookie showcase. What I've liked from the San Jose Sharks is when they do get the puck in the offensive zone, their ability to cycle the puck, hold on to the puck, and everybody seems to get involved. It's a five-man offense. They track back really well, and you have to against the Avalanche because it looks to be in this first period, the Avalanche are a very good attacking team who like to take the puck to the net, can with their speed. So more of that tracking back, making sure that if you're a defenseman in this situation, you got to make sure you protect the middle as much as you can. Don't get over-aggressive, because if you get over-aggressive, it seems like the Colorado Avalanche are able to hit the seams and get to the net. So that'd be one thing I'd look at. Second thing I would look at is make sure that, guys, it's good to have that energy. It's good to be in the opposition face. It's good to make sure that we're sticking up for teammates, but can't spend the majority of the time in the box.
No question, Sharks took 3 different minor penalties in that first. They did kill off the final 2. Avs go 1 for 3 on the advantage. They scored a couple of quick goals to jump out to a 2-0 lead before Valtteri Pulley, the defenseman, got the Sharks on the board. We'll step aside, come back in a moment through a period of play. It's the Avalanche 2, the Sharks 1. Final day of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. Live from El Segundo, this is Sharks Hockey on the Sharks Audio Network and at sjsharks.com. Performance Center in El Segundo. Final shots in that first period. Colorado 15. The Sharks 9. Colorado goes 1-for-3 on the power play. They right now say, at least in the box score, that Colorado's first goal was not on the power play. I believe it was. So they should be 1-for-3. Sharks go 0-for-1. They had the game's first power play. Matt Steinberg opened up the scoring at 7:01. His first of the rookie faceoff from Ritchie and Barons. Then Colorado made it 2-0. Brunel on the board, his first of the rookie faceoff from Hildebrand, but the Sharks answer back 12 seconds later. Valtteri Puuli, his first from Miski, gets the secondary assist for the Sharks, and Sumpf gets the primary assist. That is where we stand after a period. Sharks down by a goal. 40 minutes to go before we wrap up the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. We will have a guest during the intermission. Todd Marchant, the Director of Player Development for the Sharks and Senior Advisor, expected to join us here in the broadcast booth. It's been a lot of fun calling these games with you, partner. It's great, obviously, to have hockey back. And we talked about it yesterday, and we've talked about it throughout the weekend. There's no question there's an excitement in the organization amongst the players, you can tell, the front office, mostly, though, the fans. Really excited about what's to come. So what are you most looking forward to when it comes to training camp and starting the season off?
Well, for me, watching how, obviously, Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, Henry Thrun continue to develop. There's just more guys probably I'm missing. Look at Eklund, how much he jumped up last year. Can he continue that and improve that? Can Bordeleau do the same thing? And how their interaction and their relationships with Barclay Goodrow, with Tyler Toffoli, talking to the Kings today about some of the Kings staff today about Tyler Toffoli, and everybody considers Tyler a goal scorer, which he is, but learned to play the penalty kill when he played for Daryl Sutter, does a lot of little things well. Those little nuances that he is in the game, how he helps the younger players figure that out. I'm really interested to see what the Sharks do with 3 goaltenders. All 3 goaltenders, you can be arguing that they could be starters for the San Jose Sharks this season. Looking forward to seeing how Ryan Warsofsky can put into place and how quickly he can get into place that team identity that he's talking about, that he talked to us yesterday about. So there's a lot of things I think they're looking forward to. I think the one thing that the Sharks have been able to do since Mike Greer and Tom Holy, and now Ryan Clough, and our next guest, Todd Marchant, coming in to talk about, is they were very honest about the situation for the San Jose Sharks. In fact, Mike got the job because he was honest about the pipeline and needing to build that up, and we're seeing the product of that right now. So I'm looking forward to see the young guys and their continued development. I am really looking forward to see how the interaction, the relationship between the veterans that Mike brought in, and how those moves in the last 10 months are going to pay off.
The aforementioned Todd Marchant, Director of Player Development and Senior Advisor for the San Jose Sharks, kind enough to join us up here in our makeshift broadcast booth. Todd, I know Southern California is home for you, so this is probably kind of nice to be able to just go up the street and be able to watch all the prospects. But what have you made of this event, being able to see your guys, getting to see other teams? How have you taken all this in so far?
Well, it's kind of like the next step after development camp for these guys, to be able to, compete against their peers, right? Because they're all about the same age. They're all kind of getting their feet wet with the pro hockey, and some guys will go back to junior, some guys will turn pro, and it's a great opportunity for them to show what they can do against their peers, because as we know, next week when they have to go to main camp, they got to compete against guys that have been playing pro for quite a long time.
So when you were starting out playing, you didn't have this. Didn't have this luxury of being able to take steps. It was jump in with both feet, right? How difficult was that as a player?
Well, when I was a rookie, the rookies came on for a second session in training camp. You went on with the main camp, and then the veterans went and played golf, and the rookies all went back out for another session. Right. So I think that the way that we do it now, being able this opportunity to be able to compete and actually play in games, is more beneficial for them. We didn't have development camps back then. So this is all part of the new NHL, and I just think it's a great opportunity to kind of get your feet wet, get some game action get some battles under your belt, so that when you do get into main camp, you're already a step ahead.
We were talking earlier, when you and Mike and everybody jumped in and started to work for the San Jose Sharks, the prospect pool was not very deep. In fact, it was as shallow as could be, maybe empty. That was one of the things that Mike talked to management, or talked to Hasso-Plattner and Jonathan Becker about. You've been able to regrow that. Talk to us about the need nowadays, the importance of drafting and development.
Well, that's the way the NHL is built, right? Because there's a salary cap.
Right.
So you can't just go out and, back in the day when the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars, the Detroit Red Wings, the New York Rangers just bought their teams. Now it's about drafting well, being patient, developing, and allowing these players to come up at the right pace. We don't have to thrust them into positions they're not ready for. Mike's done a great job over the last 2 years of bringing in some veteran players that can fill spots until the young players are ready. And that's what we want to do. Everybody talks about overcooking their players in the American League. It's true, because you don't want to throw kids into situations they're not ready for, because if they're not, then they lose their confidence and they don't become the player that they expected to be, and they don't become the player that you expected them to be. So I think it's a great opportunity for these kids just to take a second, grow at their own pace. Everyone is different, and when they are, then they're ready to go.
Are there certain elements that when you're watching a young player that you look for, that you think that will make them a good NHL player?
Well, I think I'll go a different way. When we talk to these players, I like to see players that listen to what we say to them. There's not a lot of situations that Mike or Dougie or our staff has not seen in the National Hockey League. So when we talk to them, do they take it in? Do they apply it to their game? Managing pucks is a huge issue with young players, because they think that, well, in junior I did this, or in college I could make this play. Well, you can't do that at the American League, and you certainly can't do it in the National Hockey League. So can you manage the puck? When you're at the blue line, can you just make a simple play and get it out? Or am I going to try and beat somebody? And when I talk to you about it, and then you go back out there and do the same thing wrong, then we have a problem.
Right.
But when you do it the right way, when you do what I ask you to do, and then all of a sudden that turns into a scoring chance at the other end, you say, oh, that's what you meant. So it's all about the communication between us and the coaching staff and the players, and the ones that take it in and really absorb what you're saying, their chance of success go up a lot quicker than the guys that dig their heels in and say, well, this is what I've always done. Because we've all made those mistakes as players as well.
Don't want to put the cart before the horse. I think the hope would be that Macklin, Celebrini, and Will Smith are on your opening night roster. Now, you oversee the development side of things. The NHL's not a development league, right? I mean, the American Hockey League is a development league. Now, there still needs to be development. So my question is, how do you still develop these young players while they're in the National Hockey League? How does that all work?
It's going to be small things. It's going to be, how are we taking a face-off? What is our body position down low in the defensive zone? Because if you get on the wrong side, guess what? It's going to either be in the back of your net or it's going to be a good scoring chance. And it's all these little steps. And everyone talks about the National Hockey League not being a developmental league, but you know what? Even guys that are 10 years in the league are still developing. They're still getting better. And if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, and someone's going to take your job. So it's development the whole way through your career. So I think it's just the small little things that you have to teach the kids, and then you have to let them play and learn on their own sometimes. Right. Sometimes you're going to say, hey, guess what? It's no different than when you were a little kid and your parents tell you don't do it, and then you go do it, and guess what? It works out not being in your favor. So it's the same thing when it comes to professional athletes. I hate to say it, but it's true.
How do you balance their natural abilities? There's reasons why those two in particular were drafted as high as they are. They're extremely skilled for their age, and they have very high ceilings. So how do you balance their natural abilities and the nuances of the game that make you a successful NHL player?
I think that they kind of balance it on their own. I mean, they've got to go through the process and learn. And, you always talk to players after their first year, and they're like, yeah, remember when you said that? Well, that was true. And, that. So a lot of times it's just about them experiencing it for themselves. You're always going to be there for them when they have a question about something. I always tell them, like, listen,
good point.
You know what? 6 months from now, you may say, hey, I got just come ask me, because you know what? If I don't have the answer, I'm going to find somebody that does have the answer. So we're always there for them. I mean, even players that I hate, when I worked in Anaheim, I'm still see those guys and I still talk about things.
Sure,
so it's one of those things. It's like they're your kids all over again. So it's a great position to be in, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, one more for me. We are in Southern California, and you worked a long time for the Anaheim Ducks. As you look at all those players, how have you used that experience, that time at Anaheim, to influence and kind of shape now your start here with the Sharks?
Well, I'm constantly getting better in my development as a management person. So I take the things that I've done that have worked for me, and I continue to use them, and I'm always looking to make things better. It's like every year at development camp, how can we make it better? Please help me make it better. And I think that every year we've done it, we've gotten better, and hopefully we'll continue to get better.
Well, that's an important element to have, though, that ability to look in the mirror, reflect on what's been working, what's not, and that transfer of the players doing the same thing game after game, day after day.
Well, we don't have all the right answers, right? And so that's what it is. I'm learning from them as well, because kids today are different than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm a parent. My kids are different than when they were little. So it's about what makes them tick and utilize that to your advantage and to their advantage.
The only guy that has the right answers, the only people, broadcasters.
Yeah, we have all the
Exactly.
Well, I think that's kudos to Mike, yourself, but bringing in so many different voices. There's been no denying that you guys have really bolstered your staff as well, and there's so much experience.
I am so lucky to have a staff that I do, and they all work hard, and they all bring a little something different. But at the end of the day, we're all in it for the same reasons. And I tell everybody, listen, you can never over-communicate with players, because you know what? They want to hear from you, and we want to hear from them, so let's keep that line of communication open.
Todd Marchant, Director of Player Development, Senior Advisor for the San Jose Sharks. I think all the prospects are in great hands under your tutelageship, and we appreciate the time. This is great to always catch up.
Anytime, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll enjoy the rest of the game. Todd Marchant, kind enough to join us in the broadcast booth. It's a 2-1 Colorado lead after 20, as the Sharks will move from right to left here in this second period.
That's, again, the people we've talked to, Ryan Cloak, Todd, and we had on Ryan Warsofsky yesterday. Those conversations should bolster your confidence level if you're a San Jose Shark fan. I get excited.
Me too. That's the biggest takeaway.
Exactly.
My confidence, not that I didn't have confidence, but these guys are just...
They're not just showing up.
Right.
They've got a plan.
Right.
They've got a plan and moving forward. They know and have a way to help that development that you talked about, Nikki. That question was so good about being a developer, and I loved his answer about you have to develop. Every day you've got to develop, and every day they look at themselves whether they're doing things right. I think it's an exciting time for the San Jose Sharks.
They kind of gave me a funny look when I said the NHL isn't a development league, and I don't think I've heard that answer before.
I've never heard it.
Saying everybody's developing, whether you're a 10-year vet or a rookie. So great stuff from Todd Marchant, Director of Player Development, Senior Advisor for the Sharks, kind enough to join us up here in the broadcast booth. We are back underway. Second period. We are going to begin this second playing 4-on-4. Coincidental penalties at the end of the period to both Quentin Musty of the Sharks and Mitch Young of the Colorado Avalanche. So a little extra real estate to kick off this second period. Here comes Colorado down the left wing side. Connor Mayer shot shrugged aside. Cowan, good save. Picked back up by Mayer. Works his way up the near side wall. Hits the brakes. Pestered by Bushler from behind. Dickinson supplies support. Allows it in there as well for Colorado. And the Sharks come out with it as Bushler works his way up the middle of the ice and spots Dickinson on the left flank. Dickinson works his way to the hash marks. Up top for Van Roboys, covering the space for him on the point. Lucas Van Roboys holding onto it. Works his way up to the far side, leaves for Dickinson. Wrister off the right pad, a shield and into the corner. Recovered by the Sharks. Van Roboys loses it. Picked up, though, by Granger. Flicked to the left side. Hache works to the left dot. Shoots. Shield makes the save. And Van Roboys got right in his grill, and Shield didn't like it. Gave him a little whack.
Van Roboys has got grit. He's got some snarl in his game, which is fun. And a good 4-on-4 work in the offensive zone for the Sharks. Cycle the puck well. Van Roboys holding on to the puck. Looking to create some opportunities. I like 4-on-4, Nick.
Me too. Me too. Gives a little extra space.
Yeah.
Just to finish the thought on Lucas Van Roboys, he's from Tainsville, Ontario. He grew up on a farm, and many of the elements of his game, very blue collar. And in speaking to him, he said, there's no question, my work ethic, my mentality comes from his childhood and his upbringing growing up on a farm in Ontario.
Patty Marleau, same thing. Grew up on a farm in Aneroid, Saskatchewan. And, oh, we got a penalty coming up here. It looks like it's going to be...
Looks like the net came
I
off.
thought it was penalties.
And the referee threw his arm up as well. So.
Patty Marleau was talking about that when we were talking to him when the retirement of his number. He was talking about the work you had to do as a son on the farm. And he was so appreciative of his brother and sister once he got moving and playing hockey like he was and was going to be a star, that they had to take over his chores.
I'm sure he gave him an IOU, said, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, I'll take care. I'll help you out.
Don't worry.
Knowing his family, they probably reminded him of it too. But
Bistad trying to go back post for Larocque, pinching down from the point. And Colorado will ramp it back into the Sharks zone. 2 minutes gone in the second period. We're back to 5-on-5 play. 2-1 lead for Colorado. Granger finds a man. It's Musty coming out of the penalty box, taking it wide, pocket picked as it's poked back into the left corner. Good defensive play by Derek Datchke. Avs back from left to right, over the line.
They like to try to take the puck to the net, the Avalanche, don't they?
No question. Musty back up the surface. He's into the offensive zone. Pooley outnumbered, lost the puck, and Colorado will play it out of the defensive zone. Hildebrand trying to run it down. Pooley has it now for the Sharks. Far side for Miskey. Gets it to center for Wetch. Guided for Burke. Burke pushes it left side. Musty tried to steer back middle ice. That's intercepted by Pavel.
The other thing the Avalanche do, you just saw it right there, is they like to stretch the game out. Forwards will take off out of the zone looking for the long pass.
Back into the Sharks zone. Cowan, the goaltender, was waiting for it to come to him. Shea's going to poke it free for Colorado, but intercepted by Cagnoni. Guided for Musty and hoisted to center. And that puck will roll down on Adam Scheel, the 25-year-old netminer from Lakewood, Ohio. In his 4th season at the pro level this upcoming year for Scheel. Sharks looking to break out of their zone. Haltman will skitter it forward, but Colorado places it immediately back in deep. Cowan, the goaltender, up the near side wall. Wood will cut it off. Spots allows it against the grain. Here's a shot from Young, and good defensive play there to close the time and space. It was Pilling who got his stick in the shooting lane. Up and out of play it goes.
And Pilling's been very noticeable today in situations like that. Little small details, those things you talked about. Again, Colorado Avalanche attacking the net. And Pilling is able to move into that shooting position, go down and partially block it, deflect it up high out of there. Like, find a way. I mean, Pilling's a guy who's on a tryout, right? Yep. So he's trying to find a way, trying to show, hey, listen, I could do some things for you. You have to kind of, again, go back to what we talked about yesterday, learn to play the tuba.
So Van Roboys will take the face-off draw for the Sharks against Callum Ritchie. And it's rimmed around near side. Olausen will track it down. 24 in white for Colorado in their road white sweaters. With the blue pants and white helmets, Sharks in the alt teals. Granger works his way up the left wing and pull cues it into the left corner. Granger swivels the puck to the middle of the ice, but no one there in a teal sweater, and the Avalanche are back out of the zone. Good back check, though, by Granger, lifting the stick of Steinberg. Sharks trying to force it back to center. Avs just hold it inside the line, but now Dickinson will work his way back to center ice. Sam Dickinson will place it left corner. Scheel will slow it down behind his net for Colorado. 15-19 left here in the second period. Avs 2, Sharks 1. All 3 goals scored back in the first. And Van Roboy's tied up behind the play. And a kneeing penalty is coming up.
Alternate again. Yeah.
3rd time he goes to the penalty box in this game. And the minor penalty at 4:47 of this second period.
It's getting the He took that hit in the first. It was a good hit, strong, you know, nothing wrong with it. But since then, he's taken 3 penalties.
Sharks have now been on the PK 4 times, and as Drew mentioned, 3 of those 4 have been Holtman as the perpetrator, as the face-off draw will be to the right side of Cowan. Off the draw, Larocque will swipe it up the boards and get it down 200 feet. So 5 minutes through this second period. Avalanche are 1 for 3 on the power play. Into the offensive zone, circumnavigating is Mayer, up high to the point for Curran, return to Mayer, midpoint, left side, he hands it, thrown on net, Cowan the save, left pad stop on the rebound, and the loose change is cleared out of harm's way by Granger.
We got a great look at that from our angle right here. We're right by the net of the Sharks in the second period. That left pad was shot out there like lightning. What a save.
Wetch got just a piece of Young for Colorado, clipped him. But the Avalanche will rush back up the near right wing. Riley Wood lost it. This could be a break for Burke if he can chase it down. Shields coming way out of the net. Burke scores! The riverboat gambler, Adam Shield, came way out of the net above the circle. Burke got to it first, worked around him, and placed it into a wide open 4x6.
Good job by Burke, getting after it. The turnover happens, right? So, turnover happens, pop it off the boards. Burke is on his way. A late start, really, there. It would have been a tripping penalty anywhere, but it was the late jump, right, by Shield, and then Burke keeps his balance, and he's able to slide it into the empty cage. Big short-handed goal. It was that late jump, he who hesitates.
Nolan Burke's got his second of the NHL rookie faceoff. As Adam Shield, maybe just a slight hesitation before he decided to go for it. And Burke won the foot race. And once he got around him, they're not going to have an easier goal. So Miskey rips it all the way back down in on Shield. 2 unanswered goals now for the Sharks. And they have tied it up at 2-2. The Avs back over the line. Steinberg far side. Mastro Donato flicked the backhander high and wide, and Steinberg places it back for Lausen. Left side, Barron's shot blocked, picked up. Ritchie swiveled to the back post for Steinberg, but it went through him. And Van Roeboys will track it down and rip it rink wide. Caromed off of the boards and out of the reach of Musty.
Musty came out for Haltonen, stayed out the far blue line looking for that stretch pass.
Avs back over the offensive blue line. Battle along the near side, peeling in there for San Jose. Musty comes out with a puck, works it behind his net for Roberts. Now pilling for Cagnoni. Guided for Musty. Got his head up in time with some pressure bearing down in on him. Avs take it away though, and they're back into the offensive zone. Play stopped.
Over we go again.
Russell and Hildebrand coming together for a moment.
Both guys face off going outside. Both guys getting penalties here. Going to go 4-on-4 again, I think. Looks like Russell's going to get 2. And Hildebrand going in. And 10s. Or no, it's a 5-on-5. Sorry. Thought what's he flashing 10s for? But 5-on-5.
12:37 left in the second period. So coincidental penalties against Chad Hildebrand of the Avalanche and Mitchell Russell of the Sharks. Started this period playing 4-on-4. So Pavel will take the draw against Luke Granger. Bushler lost it. Granger picks it up. Left side for Dickinson. He's over the line. Swings it to the far post for Granger. Those two could not quite connect, and the Avalanche will look to break out of their zone. Rushed up the near right wing by Brunel, scored Colorado's second goal. Dickinson now controls for the Sharks, weaving away from the pressure. Granger now fumbled the puck, and it's steered back into the near corner. 12:05 left in the second period. Under a minute and a half to go on the minor penalties assessed to each side. Dickinson trying to tip the puck along. He does so on a second attempt, and Musty will work his way up the left wing. Musty works his way to the net, shoots, save made Shield.
Good play by Musty to even get an opportunity there. It looked like he was cut off along the boards.
Musty's got a second gear.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if I realized that he was that quick, but he's just separating from guys. As it's put back in on Shield, and he'll poke it into the corner of the goaltender. Hache gets to it, near side, keep it in the zone. Into the corner for Dickinson, flicked it to the low slot. Shield the save, as Musty was sniffing around the net with 11:23 left in the second.
All right, Dickinson and Musty looking very good on that shift together, reading off each other very well. But you're right, Quentin Musty has a different gear, and he gets it finds that open space. You see why he scored so much in the OHL last year.
Musty was selected first overall in the OHL priority draft. 45 goals last year with Sudbury, over 100 points. And he has been very impressive so far in this NHL rookie faceoff. Avalanche offside, so another whistle.
A lot of eye-opening performances so far.
We're tied at 2-2. Sharks trail 2-0. Valtteri Puoli scored almost immediately after Colorado had made it 2-0 back in the first. And then Nolan Burke able to win a foot race as Adam Shield, the goaltender, came out to try to get to the puck. Burke got around him and was able to slide it into a wide open net to tie the score up just a few minutes ago.
Trip.
And a penalty coming against Ritchie of Colorado for tripping as he upended Larocque. And now Olausen and Hache in one another's grill.
I like that part of this situation too, Nick, that these guys there's push in their game. They're pushing back on each other. There's a little bit of snarl. There's a little bit of nastiness. It's been fun to watch. Both, all these teams, all these individuals are trying to prove they've got that competitiveness in them.
So Beasted will take the O-zone draw. Sharks on to the power play. It's going to be a 4-on-3 advantage. So they've got Beasted out there, as well as Musty, Haltman, and Cagnoni. But the Avalanche able to pick up possession right off the draw, and it's worked over the line. Pavol thrown to the net. Cowan, the goaltender, run into as he got helicopter. Penalty coming against Colorado. There goes Cowan. And a heady play by Musty to allow the Avalanche to just touch it.
I think it was, well, you can't make contact, though. To be fair, you can't make contact. Cowan did a nice job of selling it to bring the ref's eyes to that play. Good drive to the net. Nice job by the Colorado Avalanche. Dashke just, like, to me, in a game, that's just a hockey play that you're going to run into a goalie in that play, because he's not trying to go in and touch the goalie. He's trying to score. But now in the NHL and the AHL, it's much like that blue paint. No matter what, you got to stay out of it as best you can and can't make contact. But I'm with the Avalanche on this one. They say, eh.
So we were playing 4-on-4, but back-to-back minor penalties against Colorado. So it remains a 4-on-3 power play for the Sharks, as it's one up high to the point, and out of the box comes Mitchell Russell. So now it's a 5-on-3. Cagnoni, top of the umbrella, shoots. That puck changed direction. Beasted was planted right in front of the net. Back to the point, Cagnoni, right side for Musty. Seems a pass against the grain. Granger, one extra feed, and a penalty coming up. But nope, the net's off. It's Moorings.
Yeah, net's off the Moorings again. got the man out. They don't have it up on the score clock because they didn't have room for the penalties.
So Hildebrand exits the box.
That was the
2 Avs still in the penalty box. And the Sharks will have a 5-on-3 for 1:21 as they look for their first lead of the game.
There you go. The second penalty is up now. It's 1:21 and 1:20, which doesn't seem right, but
didn't happen a second later.
No, it didn't happen a second later.
Still a good chunk of time, I know that's for sure, but I don't think that's exactly correct. Either way, Sharks in a 5-on-3 power play. Cagnoni, Musty shoots, Shield a save. Musty able to get his own rebound, and he slows it back down. Cagnoni and Haltman try to one-time it, stick broken too. And Musty had it just veered off the stick.
Why it's 1:20? Because that other penalty didn't start until the 4-on-4s were over. The original penalty was over.
Haltman, now Cagnoni to the near side. Yeah, you don't see that very often.
No.
It's a good point by Drew. That's why there was just a second apart. Cagnoni now, top of the umbrella for Musty. Raised off of Steinberg's stick, so Musty goes and tracks it down. Shoots, kicked aside, big rebound, they score. Off the carom, Luke Granger gives the Sharks their first lead at 3-2.
Nick, you pointed this out yesterday, the goals being scored. You know, everybody wants to go high, right? Everybody wants to go top shelf. This is another smart shot. Down low, pass off the goalie's pads. How many times do we talk about it? It's a hard shot off the pads, produces a rebound, and Granger does a nice job, super set of hands just to settle the puck. And then even takes a split second, just make sure that he puts it in. So 5-on-3. Well done. Sharks cash in. They still got 45 seconds left on the 5-on-4 now.
That's their 6th power play goal in 3 games. A little bit different personnel in this game, but the Sharks managed to capitalize on the 5-on-3. Luke Granger with his 2nd goal of this NHL rookie faceoff. And he did not dust that puck off.
No.
He just rifled it back in on net, and he beats the goaltender Adam Shields. So Sam Dickinson works his way back to center. Drop pass was thwarted, and the Avalanche get it back down in deep. Cowan has to hurry it up the near side wall for Pilling. Pilling 92 and teal, right wing side, spots Mitchell Russell. Russell gets through 2, hands off, has a man at Burke, and he kind of ran out of real estate as Shield made the stop. Silky play though by Mitchell Russell. And watch out for the linesman near side as he was crunched right in the middle of a body check. As now Dickinson works his way over center. Dickinson gains the line, weaving up the middle of the ice. Shield pokes it aside. We are back to 5-on-5 play, so the Sharks capitalize on the 5-on-3. Ronell, power move. Fluker picks up the puck. Up high to the point for Young. Rister bounced wide. Wrap around bid near side. That's stopped down. Hildebrand was the one taking the bid, and Dickinson just feeding him with lumber to the mid-back.
It's a car wreck.
Back to the point. Rister on net. And Cowan the save, the goaltender, and holds on with 8:07 left in the second.
That is...
Hildebrand's going to have a sore back tomorrow.
He's going to have a sore back tomorrow, without a doubt. It's a lot of work by Sam Dickinson, making sure you're not... reminding guys you're not supposed to stand there.
It's a friendly reminder.
Yeah, exactly.
8:07 left in the second. Sharks up 3-2. They've got their first lead. They've scored 3 straight. We're back in a moment, live from the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. This is Sharks Hockey on the Sharks Audio Network and at sjsharks.com. Want to stay up to Avalanche 2. Luke Granger has given the Sharks their first lead on the power play during a 5-on-3. Sharks have scored 3 unanswered. They have goals from Cooley, most recently from Granger, and Nolan Burke got the tying goal to make it 2-2.
The energy level actually went up even that period. But I really liked their 5-on-3 because it was quick. They didn't slow things down. They pushed the pace and able to get that goal. But the other thing you really notice with the Colorado Avalanche, when it's 5-on-4, how aggressive they are as a penalty killing team.
So the face-off draw will be to the right side of Cowan as the ice crew finishing up the dry scrape. This game is being brought to you live from El Segundo, California, live from the official practice facility of the LA Kings and their AHL affiliate, the Ontario Reign. The Kings, a couple of years into the existence of the Reign, they made the decision to move the AHL franchise completely here to El Segundo. So they practice here, the players live in this area, and then they commute to Ontario, which is about an hour away.
Yeah, it's a healthy drive.
Especially with LA traffic.
Is it bad? I don't know. Is traffic bad there on the 405?
It's been known.
Oh, okay.
They give them actually hotels, so they stay in hotels, kind of a day hotel. It's a really unique situation. So the American League team basically plays on the road all year long.
Yeah.
Under 8 to go in the second period. Sharks 3, Avalanche 2. Quarterboard battle. Van Rohe boys. Miskey, Pooley in there for the Sharks. Cooper, Mastro, Donato, and Cowan in there for Colorado. As the puck comes free and on the stick, Van Rohe boys. He weaves his way up ice. Came back to Pooley, the trailing D-man, and Pooley will whip it up the near side boards. They're going to say it went off of a Shark, so no icing on the play. And back to center it goes. Now Haché. The puck tipped into the corner by Van Rohe boys, and Shield will come out and stop it. Adam Shield played his college hockey at North Dakota. Played last year with the Chicago Wolves in the American Hockey League. Here's a chance in between the circles for Van Rohe boys. Save made by Shield, and the rebound just outside of Van Rohe boys' reach as he has a Avalanche on top of him atop the crease. Now Granger shoots and scores off the rebound. He's got his second of the period, and the Sharks lead it 4-2.
I'm sorry, Lucas Van Rohe boys. I love this guy. Absolutely love him. Got Granger with the goal, and it was some really good work by the Sharks just to keep the puck float. But Van Rohe boys is creating havoc in front, and there's nothing that anybody can do to move him. He's down on the ground. He's got a guy on top of him. Granger jumps in, gets that rebound opportunity. I like the fact the Sharks are attacking that. I like the shot first. The shot mentality has got to be there. It produces those rebound opportunities. But Lucas Van Rohe boys, I'm telling you, we're going to have to get a nickname for him because that Van Rohe boys is too long. But we might be seeing him a lot.
I look in front of the net. He's completely on his back. He's got an Avalanche skater on top of him. It looked like two siblings fighting, and one of them just pinning the other down.
And then Van Rohe boys gets up after the goal. Has a little something to say, yeah. Love the kid. Granger, good job again, jumping in and putting that home.
Granger's got a nose for the net. He's got his third now of this rookie face-off, second of this period. And the Sharks have scored 4 straight to take a 4-2 lead. Now Haltman circles behind the net. Beasted up top to the point, and that's fired on target from well out by Roberts, and the save made by Shield.
Halttunen again getting into it. I think that's Fluker and Halttunen having some words and some exchange.
.6:12 left in the second period. In a regular game, a guy takes 3 minor penalties that lead to power plays. You might not see him on the ice.
He's got a seat right next to the coach or the trainer.
So back on our way, Sharks 4, Avalanche 2. Bushler will wind it into the left corner. Around the wall it goes, far side. Picked up by Barons behind his net, spun off a check. Got rid of it. And it's forced back to center ice by the Avalanche. Brunel, who scored Colorado's second goal at the time to give the Avs a 2-0 lead. Had it for a moment, now it's shoveled back on net, dribbles into the near side corner. Hildebrandt, ouch. Now Brunel spins it to the middle of the ice, and Colorado can't quite keep it in the zone as Daschke picks it back up at the red line and rips it in deep. Roberts now for the Sharks, steered off the puck by Shea. Turnover forced, wraparound bid is through the paint and picked up by Granger for the Sharks, who whips it for Pilling left wing side. Now Granger runs it down in the corner, stuffs it to the point, ripped on target. Shield directs it aside into the corner. Under 5 to go in the second period. Here's a chance in tight for Granger, looking for the hat trick, and he couldn't put it home.
Almost.
Now Pilling, left side Pulley, and into the crease. The net is off again. That'll stop play.
Great chance for Granger again. And the Sharks are getting opportunity after opportunity. And that's causing us some problems so far. It's just that net too. This one hasn't been maybe pushed as much or tested as much.
4:40 left in the second period. Sharks 4. Avalanche 2. Sharks have scored 3 times in this second period. The last 2 off the stick of Luke Granger, and they've scored 4 unanswered in the game. They've got goals from Cooley, Burke, and the last 2 from Granger. Avalanche will skate it back to center. Krish Shapov in the corner for Colorado, but the Sharks have it. Cooley with some real estate will take the ice given and get it for Musty. Flicked along Beasted. Beasted, corner boards. Defended by Daschke. That's Merrick Howell who's defending him, 73 in white. And Colorado will get it back to center ice. And now twisted into the left corner. Cooley will take a peek. He's on it. Under 4 to go in the second. 4-2 Sharks. Beasted. Stick handling around Cooper to exit his zone. Rolled off the end of his blade. Now Curran for Colorado, 90 in white. Flicked right side for Josh Fluker, the defenseman. Gave it away to Pulley at the red line. Now Musty for the Sharks. Over the center logo. Trying to dance through an Avalanche defender and lost the puck. Good stick though by Van Roboy. Batted it out of midair. Sharks back in transition. Van Roboy backhands one for Haltman. It was about a foot off the ice and he couldn't connect. And Colorado veers it back towards the Shark blue line. But Dickinson for Musty. Musty's pass taken away. Van Roboy's trying to win it back, but Curran comes out with it for Colorado. Sharks making a change on the fly here as Russell comes on for Kasper Haltman. 3:03 left here in the second period. Sharks 4, Avalanche 2. Whoops. Now Olausen for Colorado. Tried to find Steinberg, well defended by the Sharks. Uh-oh, giveaway. But the Sharks recover and clear it back to center.
Well, scrambling in that shift so far.
Now Steinberg deposits the puck right corner. Olausen runs it down, bumped into by Dickinson. Now Ritchie for Colorado. One hands it to the point for Mayer. Lifted back into the corner. Olausen trying to center. Good stick Cagnoni. Took it away. Olausen leans down on his blade and recovers it. Back to the point. Behrens for the Avalanche. Rising wrister. Punched aside by Cowan. And Behrens has it again down into the trapezoid for Olausen. But Cagnoni takes it right off his stick and flicks it back through center. Glove down by Russell. Could be a chance. Works in on a breakaway on the backhand. Save made by Adam Shield. Now Hache from the left point. Shield able to snare it and get the whistle.
I think he's got a little scrambly on that shift. A couple of plays though that Dickinson made. Sam Dickinson taking away an opportunity to pass across, as you said. Good read by Dickinson, and then a couple of really solid checks on puck carriers in the corner. And what he does too, when he makes that check in the corner, he really makes sure he bounces back off and he's off the boards first, making sure he maintains good defensive posture.
So the face-off to the right side of Adam Shield. Sharks 4, Avalanche 2. Shield will direct it into the corner. And now Pavol back to center. Kenneth Brunel, Wetch run into. Brunel has it. Off the near side wall to center by the Avalanche. Sharks up by a pair. They lead it 4-2. 1:34 to go in the second period. We will have another guest during our second intermission, so don't go anywhere. Will Smith expected to join us up here in the booth. Smith played the first couple of games, but he gets the morning off. Yeah, we'll have a chance to catch up with the Sharks' #1 draft choice from last year. Avs get it in deep. Curran in on the forecheck. Larocque back to get it for the Sharks. Now Haché trying to run it down. Minute to go in the second. Haché leans into Cooper, and it's slapped out of the zone by Haltman all the way back into the Avs end. 48 seconds to go in the second period. Final game for the Sharks. And then we'll make our way back to Northern California. Training camp will start on Wednesday at Sharks Ice at San Jose. Cowan will stop at the goalie behind his net for Granger. Already a couple of goals in this period for Beeston. Beeston stick handles over the blue line. Takes it wide left. And the Avs come out with it behind their net. And it's now directed to the near side. Down to 12 seconds to go in the period. Sharks with a 3-goal second. Burke.
Penalty coming up to Colorado Slash. It's going to be a retaliation. And this time the retaliation was on Halttunen. He draws one.
As Mastro Donato will take a seat. And it comes late in the period, just a 1.4 seconds to go in this second period. So the Sharks are going to have almost a full 2-minute power play, that is, to start the third, as Cowan's in to actually exit the net to our right. So it will be a 6-on-4 for the final 1.4. See if we can. We'll have Van Roboys take the draw. He's a right-handed shot, so he's going to have to attempt his best Mario Lemieux and put it right on target.
Now B-Stat's going in. You don't have time for this. 1.8, you don't have time. Or 1.4, no way.
They've got Haltman in that shooting position. And it's won by Colorado directly back.
Up, up, up. Here we go.
And at the end of the period, Steinberg applied a hit on the end boards, and you've got bodies draped all over one another. The net to get off its moorings.
Action at the net as well. Royce is there. So off the face-off. That's later on. Sorry, bad replay on that one. My fault. There was just a shot went to the net, and there was, as you said, a finished check. But then at the net as well, there was some action. So we'll see if anything comes from that. But a very entertaining period, my friend.
3 goals for the Sharks, including 2 from Luke Granger. They have scored 4 unanswered. And they'll have almost 2 full minutes of power play time to work with to begin the third period. So not a bad bounce back in period 2 for the Sharks.
There's going to be penalties here too.
They're sorting it all out.
Yeah, they're sorting it all out. It looks like you're right. I think it is going to be a power play situation remaining for the Sharks going into the third.
So we'll step aside. Sharks with 3 goals in that period. Luke Granger scoring the third and fourth. Sharks have scored the last 4 consecutive goals, and they lead it by a count of 4-2 after 40 minutes of action. Back in a moment, live from El Segundo in the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. This is Sharks Hockey on the Sharks Audio Network and at sjsharks.com.
Termites.
looks like at least one additional penalty at this point has been put on the board against Colorado, so that means the Sharks might, we'll see, we'll confirm it all when the period starts, might have a 5-on-3 to begin the third, but overall pretty lopsided period in favor of the Sharks. Could bounce back after falling behind 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. They had more jump. They attacked. They were really good getting pucks to the net and getting to the net. I love the fact that their physical element of their play continues from the get-go of this tournament. They have been a physical team, and they have been a team that has won those one-on-one puck competitions, those 50-50 pucks. They continue to work and come out with them, and they get going the other way real quick. Like, they get going north as soon as they turn the puck over. And what I love about this, Nick, and we've seen it with all the teams, they're not holding back. There's no, we're just going to ease our way into this, because we know sometimes in preseason games, the veteran players will be, okay, we know what we got to do. But these young kids are trying to prove a point. They're trying to prove that they belong, and they're trying to show that they've got what it takes to get to the main camp and try to show something. So I've been very impressed. Van Roboys, he's become one of my favorite. Like, Billy hasn't played very, very much, but he's able to make some plays. Some guys that are kind of under the radar. Sam Dickinson, again, continues to be a force. I'm impressed. I am very impressed with how hard they play and how much energy and gusto they play with.
Well, we talked a lot about Sam Dickinson last game, and we mentioned it, not that he played bad in the opener by any means, but he really stuck out in game number 2. And I think that's an intriguing element to a young player's game. How quick of a study are you? How quickly can you adapt to a different level? This is a different speed. This is a higher level of skill than what he deals with on a nightly basis in the OHL. So to see a player really just continue to ascend in a short period of time, I think that's pretty encouraging for his development in the future as he goes along.
That's what Todd Marchand told us. He said that when you're a young player, you're able to do a lot of things in under 18 and then in the junior ranks, a lot of things that you're not going to be able to do in the National Hockey League. But when I watch Sam Dickinson, I watch him, how he's always got his head on a swivel, how he's always trying to work back to the middle. From a defensive point of view, he does really smart things. He's got an outstanding stick. And, I remember, you talk about, and you have a lot of people talk, well, good stick. What does that mean? What a good stick means, especially from a defensive player, is it always seems to be in the way of the puck carrier. Entrances into the zone, he's got the stick out and it slows down the attack. In the corner, first thing that goes in is the stick. It leads, it knocks the puck or disrupts the puck carrier, and then he goes in and finishes the check. He's got a good stick at taking away passing lanes in the middle. He's very attentive with his stick. He's not lazy with it. He knows it's an extension of him as a player. David Quinn would say, if you've got a good stick, it's like an extra man on the ice. And he's a big guy, he's a rangy guy, so he takes away a lot of time and space with that good stick effort, and then the physical element is just really good.
I thought that was an interesting point where you had mentioned, just noted it again, is when he throws a body check in the corner or gets physical in the corner, some guys throw a hit and it drags them out of the play. They get pulled into the corner, and that's almost what the forward wants. You want to drag the defenseman, get him away from the net. That has been pretty noticeable. He's physical, but he also has the ability to kind of bounce and be right back in position, good positioning, and just a solid base. It's been impressive, just the body work and the positioning that he has in his game.
Aware, too. So when he does make the hit in the corner, he makes sure that he tries to stay on the right side and doesn't, as you say, slide off and get on the offensive side. He makes the hit, and then as he takes his first step back, you know what he does all the time? He turns and look. He gets his head on a swivel and checks and makes sure that the guy he checked isn't getting off the boards ahead of him or getting to the net ahead of him. He's very smart that way, and I've noticed that. Yesterday I started watching it, and today you've really been able to see it, especially because some of the play down here, you could see him really trying to dominate that aspect of his game.
How beneficial do you feel like this event is for these young players to hit the ground running going into camp? Because you aren't playing games all summer long. You can try to mimic games, you can try to skate with guys, but nothing is going to replicate that.
It's amazing. It's like we were told. I mean, this didn't happen. This didn't happen when, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So it's really beneficial, and we'll have Will Smith just tell us how beneficial it is.
We're joined by Sharks forward Will Smith, kind enough to join us. You finally get a game off. They put you in the lineup the first couple of games, but you get to watch. What's your takeaway so far from this vantage point?
Yeah, it's been a good game. Obviously, we got the lead going in a third, so 3-0 would be nice for the weekend.
How has your summer this year been different than last year? Of course, drafted last year, you knew you were going to be in college. This year, there was talks about whether you'd go back or sign your NHL deal. Obviously, you signed. You're now a professional. How has your summer been different this year as opposed to last?
It's much different. Last year, kind of running around a little bit, obviously with the combine and then the draft, and getting ready to go to school and figuring out all that. So this year, I kind of had more time where it was more just focused on training and getting ready for an 82-game season. And like I said, I obviously thought about going back, but then when I made that choice, then it was all hands on deck.
So we were just asking, talking to each other about this tournament, this type of situation for you and all the other young players. How beneficial is this for you?
It's great. I mean, obviously the start of the year is coming, so getting a few games under your belt is nice, and they've been pretty high paced, so it's been good.
It's been very high paced. We've been very impressed watching that. For Shark fans that don't know, describe Will Smith's game.
Yeah, I mean, I like to make a lot of plays out there. I like sending guys up, but I also like burying a couple when I can. So
who doesn't, right?
Yeah. So.
But you made a play yesterday. Thought it was a terrific play. Was it Quinton's goal or I can't remember whose goal? High cycle, you like to use a lot of the ice in the offensive zone. I've noticed that. You come with a high cycle, you dish the puck off, and then you put a little bit of a screen or a pick on Smith. I love when guys are reading off the play and being able to make that play. Has that always been part of your game, or has that had to develop as you've gotten older and played higher leagues? I
think it's always been a part of my game, but I think as I've gone up levels, the more I do it, the more space I can create for other guys. So I'm at every shift, even when I have the puck or I don't, I'm always looking around to see what I'm going to be doing. And obviously that play set up pretty good where I could set a pick and obviously create a little space to get an extra step, and that had turned out to a breakaway.
You've played with a lot of very talented players in your career, whether it was at the program or even in college at BC. There's a lot of young, talented players within the organization. Really, the Sharks have, over the last couple of years, going back to your draft this past year, I mean, they've totally overhauled the prospect pool and the depth. Have you been pretty impressed by just the skill of some of your teammates?
100%. It's been probably a pretty, not perfect, but we had a great game yesterday, and I think everything was kind of going our way where it was starting to work out. Obviously, it's 2 games, and you haven't played with any of these guys, so the way it's going, it's been pretty good.
I remember going to college, and the first couple of days, you're trying to figure out where classrooms are at, and it's a little bit overwhelming at times, but you learn a ton during college, whether it's living on your own, learning how to cook your own food, hanging out with your buddies and not be maybe under the roof of your parents. But you've been away from home for a long time. But in that 1 year of college, how did you change, and how are you different from even when we first met you last year to this point?
Yeah, you got to mature a little bit. Like you said, you got to find your way to class, and you're on your own, so there's no one there to kind of baby you around. You got to figure it out and make sure you're staying on top of your work and obviously eating and training, so and sleeping. So it's like I said, you got to mature a little bit, and it was a good year for me.
Have you gotten better at cooking at all? I know that you talked about gaining some weight. That was an important thing for you going into your first pro season. Have you learned how to cook a little bit more for yourself, or are you still kind of figuring out the kitchen and the lay of the land there?
It's this. It's bing, bang, 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 boom. It's the
so we got Uber Eats now.
Well, you're in a situation where you're gonna have some landlords with the Marlowe family. They've taken in Austin Matthews, Marner, and Patty. When he came in the league, I was with the Sharks back then. He was 17, 18 years old. He went and lived with the Rudies. Tell me what your thoughts are going in and living with the Marlowe family, and have you met the boys yet? Because they are a handful.
I have. I went over during development camp and met everyone. So obviously the 4 boys, it's going to be fun. And
they love hockey.
Oh, they do. And I'm pretty fired up. Obviously, to be in a family household away from home is going to be pretty special, and I'm very thankful.
How have you adjusted to being on the West Coast? You're a kid who grew up in the East. You know, now you're 3 hours ahead. I'm sure that's an adjustment, talking to your parents and your family and friends. How has that adjustment been? Do you feel like you're starting to get a feel, the lay of the land of San Jose, and starting to get a little comfortable?
Yeah, as I've been out here more, I've had more time to kind of check out the area, and time change has got me a little bit on sleeping. So as I've been out here more, I've kind of got used to it. But the weather's nice. I like that.
What's the goal? What's the goal for camp? What's your mentality for camp?
Obviously, going into camp, you want to make the team and go in there and have an impact right away.
You've worked your whole life for this, and you're a very young man, but you're on the cusp of achieving a dream. Do you ever give yourself a little bit of a chance to, and the luxury of looking back and going, hey, so far it's been working out pretty well?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I do think about it a lot, and even seeing kids at games or stuff like that asking for autographs. I was that kid like not too long ago, so it's pretty cool, and obviously never take a day for granted.
Who do you idolize as a kid? Who's the guy that you looked up to as a player?
Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane. I see a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
In your game, there's no question.
Okay, argument. I was starting an argument or not, but the best U.S.-born player, with all due respect to Phil Housley and Mike Medano and everybody else, to me, the best U.S.-born player on the planet.
Patrick Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Hockey nut. And I get to talk to Patrick a lot. The guy watches a ton of hockey. He follows the game. He listens to the broadcast. This is a guy who is into that. Are you a big watcher away from the game?
100%. I mean, I've probably seen every YouTube clip of his, and I mean, as a kid, I would just go sit on the computer, watch every shootout move or breakaway move, and then I'd go try to do it in practice.
Just watching the highlight of last year when he went back to Chicago, Chris Chelios said, "Don't ruin my night." And he goes and wins it in overtime. But reading his lips, showtime, he said to the fans right after. I love it. But that's
fantastic.
It's a great guy to look up to. There's no question about it. Well, we appreciate the time. Fun to watch you, and welcome officially to the organization. Last year you get drafted, you're a Shark, but you signed the deal. Now you're officially part of the family, and we look forward to watching you during camp and preseason. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Will Smith, Sharks forward, kind enough to join us in the broadcast booth. He got the morning off, so gets to enjoy it from the stand to get ready for training camp.
That's a good pick, eh? Patrick Kane, good pick.
U.S. legend, there's no question. I kind of see it. You see it a little bit, just the style and the game.
I think with Will too. I would say at this level, like Patrick's so skilled. Will's skill is a little bit more subtle. Like you got to watch it a little bit. You watch him and how smart he is away from the puck. And that pick play yesterday was smart, but I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to watch Macklin and Dickinson. But there's so far what we're seeing. It's been just outstanding, and looking forward to these young players. The future of the San Jose Sharks.
No question about it, and there's lots to be excited about with the Sharks organization, especially going into a fresh start that is the 24-25 season. Meanwhile, here in El Segundo, the Sharks lead at 4-2 over the Colorado Avalanche. They will move from left to right here in this final period. They've scored 4 unanswered goals. And as we mentioned, there was some extracurriculars at the end of that second period. And right now, there's just one penalty on the board. Additional penalty, that is. And it's Colorado's Sam Behrens. So we'll see if there's going to be any Sharks in the box. If not, the Sharks are going on to a 5-on-3. They scored on a 5-on-3 back on that second. And it looks like the Sharks have all 5 skaters on, so they will indeed begin the period on a 5-on-3. And it's going to be for almost a full 2 minutes because the initial penalty taken came with 1 second to go in the period. So the Sharks have a chance early in this third to extend their lead. They lead it by a pair as the puck is down, and we're down to our final period of the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff. Kenyoni controls. Gives off for Granger. Already a couple of goals for Luke Granger. For Musty, drops it Bstead. Return to Musty. Flicks it Halton, top of the left circle. Down low Granger. Granger heels on the goal line. Back up top for Cagnoni. Now for Musty, just below our vantage point. Halton fakes the shot. Down low for Musty on the end line. Back for Halton. Right-handed shot crisscrosses with Cagnoni. Down low for Granger. Granger scanning, flicks it. Cagnoni shoots, and he put it just wide. Good pass by Granger. Got it through the seam.
Cagnoni looking to go top shelf blocker.
Now down low for Musty. Caromed off of his skate and right to Bstead. He got a backhander off, but Shield with the save.
Actually turned out to be an okay pass right there. Tried to take it off the foot and kicked it right to Bstead. Good puck movement. Cagnoni, they were patient up top, not like that first power play 5-on-3. They were very aggressive taking the puck to the net. Cagnoni looked like he had his shot, just missed it.
Face off to the right side of Adam Shield, the 25-year-old netminder for the Avalanche. And off the draw, it's skittered back to center ice. Sharks on a 5-on-3 for another 105. Two penalties separated by just a single second. So Bstead down in deep. Musty between his legs. Sharks get the puck back. Musty top of the circle, waiting, shooting, a little curl and drag, and that dropped a Av skater. Fluker blocked the shot, so it's now a 5-on-2.5 as Fluker right now hobbling back to his feet. He is laboring. Musty kind of fanned on the centering feet. Sharks recover. Haltman on the far side. Sharks 4, Avalanche 2. Cagnoni, Musty, holding, waiting.
Fluker is in so much pain right now.
Bstead shoots and he missed the net. It came off the stanchion to Bstead, shoots and scores. He got it through Adam Shield. Came off of the back stanchion and in front. Shield couldn't seal the post in time, and Bstead beats him.
Couldn't ask for a better pass than that, right? Off the, they just missed the chance. The first one, Fluker, per guy, he can hardly move. Bstead shoots and goes up high, and as the puck is getting cleared, everybody looking to go for a change. Fluker wants to change because he can hardly step. He can hardly take a stride. And it's wide open to Bstead, and he puts it away. Nothing there that the Colorado Avalanche could do. And the Sharks, beneficiaries of a good break, a good bounce.
So the Sharks have scored 5 unanswered goals. They've still got 18 seconds remaining on the Barons penalty. So it's a 5-on-4 advantage now. They've got 2 power play goals, both during 5-on-3 play. Van Rovoys steers it in on Shield, who covers it up.
But you just, you know, Fluker goes to block that shot, and you can hear it thunk right off of the ankle, off the foot. And then he just did everything he could. Like you said, it was a 5-on-2.5.
He's still hurting on the bench.
He is hurting
hunched
right now.
over.
Nothing you can do either.
Power play's over, so we are back to 5-on-5. The Sharks take advantage with the goal during 5-on-3 play. Philip Bstead is first of the NHL rookie faceoff. So since Colorado scored twice in the opening period, it has been all Sharks. As Bushler now over the blue line for the Sharks. Put on net, Shield makes the save. It went up into the air and he gloves it down for the stoppage. 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the third. 5-2 lead for the Sharks.
It's interesting now to see how John McCarthy uses the bench and what he's looking for from the players, but also some of the individuals that maybe haven't had a lot of ice time up to this point, to see how much they get to they can further explore their abilities.
So Russell will step in and take the face-off. Try against Callum Ritchie. Off the draw, Ritchie wins it straight back. Young has it now for the Avs. Directs it along for Ritchie. Reaching out for it with Steinberg. Allows and gets it right corner. The Rock takes a peek. Back to go and retrieve it. Clamped along the end boards by Ritchie. The Rock with some support from Hache, his deep partner. And Russell lurking around the puck as well. Ritchie has it down in his feet. Comes up to the point. Wrister from that right side, glove down by Cowan, and he holds on for the whistle, and more pushing and shoving post whistle.
Just an attack to the net after winning the loose puck in the corner. Colorado gets out to the point, shot, and then going to the net. And San Jose trying to hold up their men. I think the Sharks are going to get a penalty though.
The gate has opened, and Haché is on his way to the sin bin, so he'll sit here. Looks like he's going to be the only one. So a power play for Colorado. It'll be their 5th of the game. They are 1 for 4. Draw to the left side of Dawson Cowan, the goaltender, and off the draw, it's into the corner, and Fish hooked around the wall. Olausen awaits its arrival, has it half boards near side, and a give and go back to Olausen. Up top for Barons, return to Olausen, drifts to the dot, guides it down low for Steinberg, back for Olausen, and does the net come off again?
It's that net. It's that net.
It's the 3rd or 4th time in which the net has come.
And not on that end.
I think it's been that same right post as well. 1:42 left on the Haché penalty. 16:38 to go in the 3rd. It's all Sharks. They lead it 5-2. This is the final day of the NHL rookie face-off. The Seattle Kraken, they have already departed. They left yesterday. They had just 2 games.
Yeah, they arrived late, left early. Like me at work.
Draw to the right side of Cowan as they have readjusted the net in place. And off the drop, Pooley will rip it around the boards, and Olausen stops it on that far side. Took a check. Shot on net. Cowan the save, and loose puck cleared out by the Sharks.
Good save by Cowan.
All the way back into the Avalanche zone. 16:22 left in the 3rd. Sharks 5 and the Avalanche 2. Sharks with a couple of power play goals, both during 5-on-5 play. Luke Granger has a pair in the game. One on the power play for Granger, the other during full strength. Most recent goal scorer for the Sharks, Philip Beestead, as the play is blown dead for an offside.
Offside. That Roboy's another good shift, energetic, getting in on the forecheck, taking a hit to try to keep the puck in. Jumped the line there a little bit early, but impressive game for him so far.
And Roboy's played 4 years at Bentley University. That's in Massachusetts, Division I, and he played his 5th and final season. Got an extra year due to COVID, and he got into the transfer portal and joined Greg Carvel and the UMass Minutemen for his final season of college hockey this past year. Wedge, top of the right circle after a giveaway. Wired on target. Save made. Rebound came to Van Roboy's. Got a couple of swipes at it, but Shield made both stops, and the Avs back in transition.
Covering my favorite player.
Myers gives it off for Cooper. Avalanche in the offensive zone. Mayer, rather, on the left point. And the puck is back to center, and Mayer will run it down at his own blue line.
Big pressure.
Granger trying to set up Burke, charging up the middle of the ice just outside of his reach. Granger's got it again, and he flicks it to center ice as the Sharks will regroup. Back to Burke, has a goal in the game.
Oh, nice play by Burke. Just control the puck. 4 seconds left on the penalty. Smart, heady play.
Haché's on his feet. He'll exit the box. He'll make an immediate change, and on form is Casper Haltman. There goes Burke as well off the ice, and Philip Beestead steps on form. 14:44 left here in the 3rd period. We saw Macklin Celebrini in the opener on Friday. Didn't play yesterday and not in the lineup today, but we'll see plenty of the #1 overall pick as we've got another injured Avalanche.
Got hit by his own player. I think it was
some friendly fire in front.
Is that Pavel?
Yep.
You get hit. He's in front. He got hit by his own guy's shot. That's always the difficult thing these days. Everybody wants you to get to the net, get to the net, get to the net. Pucks flying around like they do. Sometimes it is friendly fire.
5 minutes, 30 seconds gone here in the third. Sharks up by 3. They lead it 5-2. Most recent goal coming during 5-on-3 play. Philip Beestead. Sharks scored 3 times in the second period. They take a 4-2 lead, and they have extended their advantage here in the third. Pooley whips a pass near side for Beestead. Directs it to the middle of the ice. Had to get through a handful of sticks. And now it's centered in front by Musty, who tracked it down and couldn't connect with Haltman. And here come the Avalanche down the left wing side. It's Hildebrand.
Off the mask.
Back into the trapezoid for Hildebrand. And the Sharks come out with it. And it's touchdown.
It was off the mask. Snap came right off. You could tell just by the reaction of Dawson on that one, or Cowan on that one, I mean. Referee blew that, so Dawson Cowan getting that looked after. There's just the snap. As soon as you get hit in the face, that snap always seems to come right off.
Tim Leroy, head equipment manager for the Barracuda, keeping an eye on his goaltender. Looks like there wasn't any damage, just the buckle, as Drew mentioned, popped off. So Pilling will take the draw against Pavel, who's back out there. He was shaken up rather on his last shift after the puck hit him in the foot. Sharks through the neutral zone. Directed left corner by Sump. Now Pilling, 92 and Teal. Up high to the point, Russell, wrister wide. Picked up Miskey near side, trying to toe drag around an Av, and he lost it, and it's forced back into the Sharks zone. 13:28 left in the third, 5-2 lead for Team Teal. The big club, the San Jose Sharks, will begin NHL preseason play next Sunday at home against the Vegas Golden Knights. 5:30 puck drop. Bushler with the puck near side, gives it for Pilling. Pilling, who played last year in Seattle in the WHL. Now Russell. Take it off his stick, back for Pilling. Return to Russell. And now swiveled around the wall by Mayer of Colorado. And the Avs will look to carry it out of their zone. Dashkey. And he'll play it to the weak side. Return back to the Avalanche blue line. Colorado hurries it up the ice. Ritchie feathers it rink wide. Batted out of midair by Granger. And the Sharks have it back. Now Wetch. Lost it. Olausen for the Avalanche. Down the right wing side. Leaned into. Good physical play there in the corner boards.
That has not stopped in this game.
And it was Drew's favorite player.
Yep.
Lucas Van Roboys, who's just been all over the ice this morning, now afternoon. He's played all 3 games, and he's played pretty heavy minutes, too. Don't have the numbers in front of us on ice time, but just from the naked eye, he's been on a lot.
And he's involved, 100% involved.
Cowling's going to cover the puck up for the whistle. 12:08 left here in the third. 5-2 lead for the Sharks.
It's interesting, though, at 5-2, that the physical aspect of this game from both sides, from Colorado and from San Jose, has not changed. They're still going to the body.
Beestead's going to be kicked out of the dot, so Musty will come in and take the draw. And off the draw, it slowly drifts on net. Cowan will cover it up again. So Beestead will take the face-off again against Max Curran, 5th rounder of the Avalanche in 24. Off the draw, Sharks can't clear. Held in by Mitch Young. Throw back on net, Cal on the save. Bouncing puck scooped up by Haltman for the Sharks, and Haltman whips it for Bistad. Bistad back for Haltman, and the Sharks just offside.
I didn't think that was. I thought it was pretty darn close to being onside. I thought the extension of the stick on the entry nailed it, but nope. Some bad language being out there.
Mastro Donato and Musty having a conversation.
I've loved this part of it. I didn't expect it, Nick. I got to be honest with you. I didn't expect the fact that the nastiness would be a big element of all three games, but the last two games for sure.
What's fun about this is we're right on top of the ice. You can hear some of the conversations.
Yeah.
We don't get that privilege normally. Well, you do when you're in between the benches, but play-by-play guys, we don't usually get that. Musty, good body check on the far side.
Yeah, we're going to have a altercation.
And now Mastro Donato just came over. Those were the two that were chatting before. Rister turned aside Cowan, and the play blown dead. And Musty comes over and gives an Ava whack to the back of the leg. I think that is probably Mastro Donato, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Quentin Musty, you can see he's got that in his game as well, playing in the Canadian Hockey League or the WHL or CHL or the OHL, I should say, Quebec Major Junior. There's certainly that part of the game that you have to have. Getting in people's faces, getting physical, pushing back. It is a big part of junior hockey in Canada.
Big summer for Quentin Musty. He was invited to the U.S. Summer Showcase. He's likely to be on the U.S. World Junior team this year. Spent the summer in Toronto, really took his training very seriously this summer, and he's been quite impressive. Had the hat trick yesterday. Was in on 4 straight goals. And you mentioned, Drew, he's got a little bit of snarl to his game beyond just the offense.
Yeah.
Avs control in the offensive zone, but it's all Sharks here, 5-2 as we're under 11 to go now in the third period. And the Sharks are able to punt it back to center. Howell back skating to his own blue line. Avs back over the offensive blue line, and it's thrown in on net. And Cowell makes the routine stop for the whistle.
Not much play down in the offensive zone, really, for the San Jose Sharks. It's been more of the Avalanche trying to push back and getting a little desperate to try to close this gap. They have certainly, when they had the power play opportunity, they worked and they scored, but really it's been mostly the Sharks zone this third period.
Face off to the right side of Cowan. Now you look over the Sharks brass just to our left here, and we've talked about just how many notable names are part of this organization now, but one guy that really sticks out is Ryan Miller, who's considered one of the best, if not the best, U.S.-born goalies of all time, and never played for the Sharks, but played with Mike Greer and helping out the goalies. Another very impressive name to be able to help these young players along.
Think about it. And you've got, good finish, good check right there. Doug Waite, Mike Greer, Miller, Marchand. There's a great representation of U.S.-born players now working for the Sharks. And you start to look at really those guys as the groundwork has been laid year after year after year for more and more U.S.-born players now playing in the NHL, how good and how skilled they are. We were talking about the Four Nations Cup, Nick, just earlier before the game. You look at the Four Nations Cup coming up this year, you've got to think the Americans will be the favorite, don't you? Because of a lot of things, but the number one thing is
the goalie position.
The goalie position. Canada used to have the market cornered on the goalie position. No longer.
Sharks lead it 5-2. Can't wait for the Four Nations face-off, and NHLers will be back in the Olympics as well.
Yeah. So you look at and the U.S. development program, U.S. college hockey, they're developing some wonderful players, and we've been seeing it over the last number of years. Although, even though Macklin Celebrini's kind of a San Jose guy, we're going to claim him from the Canadian side because he wasn't from North Vancouver. Well,
I think that's fair.
Peter Anholt, who is the general manager of Team Canada junior team, he was here scouting, hoping.
There's a break now for Mastrodonato, works in, shoots and scores.
Oh.
Mastrodonato got beyond everybody, and he's able to beat Cowan on that far side to finally stop the bleeding after 5 unanswered goals from the Sharks. Colorado finally back on the board. It's now a 5-3 Sharks lead.
Well, it's something that we mentioned in the first period, how the Colorado Avalanche would stretch that forward out. So once the Sharks get pressure in the offensive zone, but they lose the puck, boom, there goes the forward. He takes off. Mastrianato is able to find that and put it home. The key on that play, though, is right away taking off as soon as there is a change in possession.
Mastrodonato had 24 goals last year in the East Coast Hockey League with Idaho. Also at four in the American League with the Texas Stars. Signed by the Colorado Eagles this summer. Haltman tried to center. It was taken away by Kern of Colorado. And now Beastit down low. Here's a chance for Musty. Gives it off for Haltman, who puts it home, and the Sharks get the goal right back.
Wow, that was a response, to say the least. And on this play, again, we talked about Quentin Musty in the first period. Good forecheck, excellent third man. The third man on that forecheck comes across, creates the turnover. But when Quentin Musty gets it, he walks to the net, freezes everybody, freezes the goalie, and then makes the perfect pass at the perfect time for the finish.
Sharks lead at 6-3. It's now 13 goals in their last 2 games, and we're not even quite done with this one. Still 8:04 to go.
Boy, nothing, you know as well as I do, nothing takes the wind out of the sails like that after you score a goal. Start to get some good feeling in your game, and then bang, the other team come back and scores right away.
Second time the Sharks have done it. They scored less than 15 seconds after Colorado jumped out to a 2-0 lead. And the Sharks just took the game over, and now an end wall hit. And was that Haltman who took it?
Yeah, I think is it.
And it was Hildebrand who threw the hit. And now Larocque comes over to get a piece of skin from Hildebrand. I saw the
Burke?
4. I think it was Burke. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that's going to be, I think, just 2. We're going to get a screen. Oh, Billing's going in there as well. Retaliation.
So we'll sort it all out when we come back. It looks like just 2-minute penalties on each side. That's, even if you retaliate, if a guy hits somebody from behind,
Exactly.
I think there's got to be a guaranteed power play. I don't care if you're, because if you don't defend him, you're gonna hear it from your entire bench for coaches.
Exactly. But the other aspect of it is too, you can have a little bit of discretion in that if you're the official. But I agree. If you hit somebody from behind, that blatant of a hit from behind, it's got to be, you got to be a little bit more discerning when you're looking at the retaliation.
7:39 left here in the third. Sharks 6, Avalanche 3. We're back in a moment. This is the 2024 NHL Rookie Face-Off, live from El Segundo on the Sharks Audio Network and at sjsharks.com.
Termites.
Welcome back to El Segundo. Sharks 6, Avalanche 3. Penalties have been assessed on both sides. Pilling for the Sharks and Hildebrand for the Avalanche. So we'll play 4-on-4. That Pilling penalty was in retaliation to the hit from behind by Hildebrand. Coley with a goal back in the first will work his way through neutral ice. He's up and over the blue line. Gives it off for Burke, who took that hit from Hildebrand, which drew the penalty. Now Mitchell Russell with the puck. Pulls up, works his way to the net. Hands off, trying to spot Roberts coming down from the point, and those two just couldn't quite connect. And now Connor Mayer will work behind his net for Colorado. Mayer with speed over the red line. Gains the offensive blue, takes it wide, circles around the net, but lost it. Roberts trying to pull it in for the Sharks. Reeled in, though, by Colorado's Callum Ritchie, and Ritchie's got it. Right-handed shot, works to the net against the grain. Puck sitting on that near side. And the Sharks, at the very least, force it away from the net. Now Olausen has it for Colorado. Avs make a quick change behind the play. Stepping onto the ice, Fluker, who was shaken up earlier in the game after he blocked a shot that was early in this third period. And it's slung on target. Save made by Cowan, and we'll get it with a whistle, with 6:26 remaining in the third. 6-3 lead for the Sharks.
So, building on that, was called interference. So, I did not see Billing's penalties. First, was he getting an original call? And maybe
that makes you
missed it. Makes you
think that might have been the case.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't see much.
Retaliation, yeah. So.
If anything, it was Larocque kind of trying to go after Hildebrand.
Yeah.
Didn't do much himself, but was the one who went over there.
So my apologies to the officials for ranting on. I wasn't even really a rant this time.
Beestead now has a goal here in the third. Works his way over center for Musty. Pulls up, holding on to it. Musty clamped against the half wall, far side, still has it in his possession. Musty up top. Kenyoni, wrister. That went off of Musty.
Ouch.
That didn't feel good. Hit him in the chest, and Colorado back the other way. There's a shot coming as the third skater in from Max Curran. He put it wide. And now Mastro Donato, has the most recent Avs goal, ripped it wide of the frame. 5:32 left in the third. Young will carry it over the blue line for Colorado. Now Curran, his pass blocked. Curran trying to stay with it. Stick lifted by Wetch, and now Van Roboys will lift it from right to left and out of his own zone as Colorado tries to hurry its way back up the surface. Sharks control, swiveled around the board. The rock near side, eluded a hit right at the final moment. That was Hildebrand, who just got called for that penalty, who was trying to throw the hit.
He's trying to exact some physical revenge for how this game has gone. For sure.
Powell now for Young. And the play is blown dead for an offside against Colorado with 4:40 left in the third. Sharks still up by 3. They lead it 6-3.
Hildebrand's big too. He can get going, so he's still trying to make himself known to the Sharks.
Now listed at 6'4", just under 200 pounds.
Wow.
Played at Western Michigan. Played 2 games last year on a PTO with the Colorado Eagles following his final season of NCAA hockey. 4:33 left in this third period. Sharks up by 3. Granger with 2 of those 6 goals.
Getting in on the forecheck, and it's going to draws a penalty as well. Laval is going to get a holding penalty, I do believe. Good job.
Haltman coming over.
Haltman has just been involved in everything. So Granger gets in on the forecheck, does a nice job getting underneath the stick and then getting inside position in the corner. And then as he gets the puck, he tries to work out of the corner, and Pavel gets the arm off the stick, a hand off the stick, and the arm around Granger. And another power play for the Sharks.
4:21 left in the third. Time of the minor at 15:39. So Pavel will sit in the box. Sharks back onto the power play here. They've scored twice on the power play, both those coming during 5-on-3 play. Avs win the draw, and they'll clear it all the way back down towards Cowan, the goaltender. Cowan made a huge save late in the first period when the Sharks were still trailing. It would have given Colorado a 3-1 lead at the time.
Good point, Nick. We talked about that save. Maybe we'll look back at it. Great point by you.
Now Cagnoni getting peppered, and he's going to have to go back and get the puck in the neutral zone. B-stick coming down the near wing. Swings it along for Granger. Stick handles below the goal line. Backhands it along for Musty. Musty for Cagnoni. Left side for Haltman. Back Cagnoni. Deflection. Shield kicks it aside as that went off the stick of B-stick. Back for Cagnoni. All day. Shoots. Put it off the pipe. That was what probably felt like all day for Cagnoni, as no one was around him, and he got everything on that quick pull of the trigger, and he just wrung the iron.
Went back to the same spot. Remember, and he missed it in the first period. Went back to that same spot, high blocker.
3 minutes to go here in the third period as Steinberg clears it out of the zone. 35 seconds remaining on the Sharks power play. Is this the final game for the Sharks here in Southern California for the 2024 NHL Rookie Faceoff? And if this score holds, they will finish with a perfect 3-0 record.
You'd have to think the way that this group has played and what we've seen from a lot of individuals, just on effort alone, Sharks management would be very pleased.
As the Avs clear it all the way back down, the Sharks, as you mentioned, Drew, whether it's been the first or even the fourth line, in all these games, they've all seemed to generate chances.
Yeah.
They're all fleet of foot, physical.
They make an impact. I mean, they're noticeable, and most of it, almost all of it, is in a very positive way. I've been very impressed.
Connor Mayer back in his own end, settles the puck down and works swiftly through neutral. Mayer carrying the puck down that left side against the grain. He tried to drop it on the backhand just as he hit the goal line, and the Sharks take it away, get it back to center. Avs control, 6-3 lead for the Sharks. .30 to go here in the third period. As the Sharks,
Boys again.
at one point scored 5 unanswered goals, and Van Roboys forces a turnover as Sumpf along the near side, wedged along the boards, supported by Hache. And now Van Roboys kind of tied up with an Av, and those two separate. And Colorado will flick it down right corner, back to 5-on-5 play. But the Sharks with a 6-3 lead and 1 minute to go here in the third. Nolan Burke, couple of goals here in the rookie face-off for Jeremy Bushler. Burke's got it up high to the point, slung wide by Wetch, covering on the near right side. A reverse hit by Pilling on the end wall. 40 seconds to go here in regulation as Curran directs it back to center. Penalty coming against the Sharks, against Pilling.
Pilling wasn't very happy. Fluker was holding him, and then he, on the retaliation as the puck was leaving the zone, he thought he'd give a little tap to Fluker, and he takes the penalty for slashing. Puck was leaving the zone, but the referee wasn't. He saw it, he was right there.
33.1 to go, so Pilling will sit in the box. And the Sharks right in position to finish off this 2024 NHL rookie faceoff with a perfect 3-0 record. And they don't necessarily hold the statistics from year to year, but I can confirm this will be the first time in which they go unbeaten in their 3 games since this event began about a decade ago. There's a shot from the point, and it's covered up and held on by Cowan, the netminder, who's been pretty sharp. He's had more action, Drew, than the other 2 goalies, but he's performed quite well.
He really has, hasn't he? I mean, go back to what you said earlier, that save in the first period was an outstanding save, where he really, not just the first one, but the second one as well, and the rebound. And he made that save that ended up, I would say, Nick, being the game saver.
Yeah, would have been a much different game had the Avs taken a 3-1 lead as the Sharks clear. And we're down to 10 seconds to go in this one, as the Sharks look like they're going to pick up another win and close it out with a 3-0 record. Barron's working his way over the blue line, and the horn will sound. No Celebrini, no Smith. It didn't matter. Sharks put 6 on the board, and they take down the Avalanche by a final score of 6-3.
Another solid performance from top to bottom of the lineup. There were lots of standouts, of course. Van Roboys, we love. Quinton, Musty, Dickinson. Haltonen in good and, I'd say, negative fashion with all the penalties. Penalty kill was good. Cruz, Dawson Cowan was good. There's another example of, if you're going to win in hockey, usually you're talking about almost every guy in the lineup having a good game.
Sharks good throughout the 2024 NHL rookie faceoff, and now we look ahead to the 2024 training camp that kicks off on Wednesday back in San Jose. The customary handshake at center ice. We'll come back with our final thoughts to close this thing out here in El Segundo. Sharks win it by a final score of 6-3 over the Avs. This is Sharks Hockey on the Sharks Audio Network and at sgsharks.com.